Hello, dear viewers, and welcome back to a very fun and exciting episode of This Week in Canada. My name is Roberto Wakeroll Cruz. Thank you so much for joining me on this Friday evening. But before we get started, let's go ahead and check out the links below so that you can support the Post Millennial. For just as little as $5 a month, you can support the Post Millennial and get an ad-free experience on our website. Canadian news, international news, American news, it's all there on the Post Millennial. I work there, and that's why you should support us. It supports me, it supports the show as well. So go ahead, check the links below for the membership link. It will be there. Also, go ahead and check out Ivacy. Ivacy is a VPN that is built just for you. Protect your privacy with Ivacy. We got a sweet deal going on. There's going to be some information coming up on the screen, I hope. And let's get right started into the show. And boy, do we have a doozy of a show. See, I forgot kind of that there was going to be this cabinet shuffling, and I thought, oh, you know, what's on the menu for this week? It should be a bit of maybe a slow week, you know. Parliament still hasn't started up yet. There isn't supposed to be no. Oh, that was wrong. I was wrong because Trudeau shuffled the shit out of his cabinet. It's been a total. It's like all these familiar faces that you remember from the last 5 years. This horrible nightmare of a 5 years. And they all got new jobs and new files to work on because these people can do anything. These people are role models and are the people that we should look up to. Very competent people such as Chrystia Freeland, who is keeping her job as Deputy Prime Minister. She will also continue to be the Finance Minister. This is frightening on the matter of fact, because if you just kind of look at her budget, it's just kind of spend freely, you know? It's just spend as you will, as much as you want. And, you know, things are going to get more expensive. Let's print out more money. But it doesn't matter because we're stimulating the economy. If you ask all of our experts, who we definitely just chose objectively, we didn't just find the experts that like our economic plan. If you ask our experts, they say that we're doing a great job on the economy. And this is so important for, and you know, her voice just drives me nuts. Which, by the way, you can't even say that anymore. Just to slow down for a minute here and get real with you guys, but how come it's like, is it sexist now that you're not allowed to say you don't like a woman's voice ever? Because like, I understand you can't call them shrill. You would never call a man shrill. That's not fair. You should be able to call men shrill too. If a man had a shrill voice, I would call him shrill. But you can't say women have a shrill voice. And you're not allowed to call them bossy. I call men, you know what? I don't call men bossy. I just call them dickheads or something like that, you know? But because I'm being polite to women, I'm calling them bossy. It sounds maybe even a little empowering. Anyway, I don't want to get too into that because there's so much more to cover. In fact, let's talk about Anita Anand. We're just going to go through some of my favorite cabinet changes at first. So remember Anita Anand? She was the Minister of Procurement, I believe. She was basically the main face that you would see day to day telling you that we got more and more vaccines. I initially kind of dismissed her as a bit of a dummy, but apparently I've talked to people that say she's actually a very hard worker and totally competent. And you know what? A lot of the Trudeau vaccine plan, while it didn't quite happen as quickly as it should have, obviously there was a huge delay, months behind other countries. We did eventually get them, and I guess it was on this big risky routine where we signed contracts with like everybody, hoping eventually we'd get vaccines where we have no domestic capability of producing them. Whatever. So she is no longer the procurement minister, and she has moved over to defense because the other guy, Harjit Sajjan, just had a lot of like rapey stuff going on in the cabinet the entire time. There was, Jonathan Vance was kind of like all this is alleged, right? And after enough time, everyone's like, hey, it seems like you're kind of like brushing this off and you had information regarding this that you ignored. And in fact, you gave a pay raise to this guy that just got accused of sexually assaulting someone. This is all really not good stuff, Mr. Sajjan. Can you explain this? No. Okay, shit. I guess no explanation from you. What are we going to do about this? There's a lot of sexual assault in the military. Are we going to any kind of investigations or anything? What if we just put a woman in charge? Okay, cool. So we put Anita Anand in charge. There's a lot of work to be done there. That's I hope she does a very good job. So you would think because Harjit Sajjan did such a terrible job that he would just be banished. You know, he's like Napoleon going to St. Helena. He's off the island. He's no. He's still got a job. He didn't get kicked out of cabinet. In fact, Mr. Sajjan now is the Minister of International Development. We wish him very good luck. He didn't do a good job at the last one. I'm just going to say 3 out of 10 stars. 3 out of 10, not very good. Now let's move on to some of my favorites, the main characters that we all hate, really. I mean, if we're going to be honest, that we all don't care for too much. And let's start with Mr. Stephen Guilbeault. Remember Stephen Guilbeault, the 5'4" guy that likes to censor internet, and it was the heritage minister? Somehow the position of heritage minister now means that you want to censor the internet, right? It has nothing to do with like Canadian heritage moments, those commercials, nothing to do with like, trying to get more people to watch hockey by putting it in a nuktuk and all these different languages. No, nothing to do with that. All about making sure that YouTube puts Canadian content first and making sure that anything that is deemable as hate speech is banned from the internet. This, of course, is pretty bombastic. These types of legislation have never been tried in other countries, but Canada's going to go ahead and try to do it anyway. That was Stephen Guilbeault's old job. Remember, Stephen Guilbeault used to be a Greenpeace activist. He got arrested for trying to climb the CM Tower and then put that flag down, this big banner. We could put a picture of it here. He got arrested. Very famous photo of him getting arrested. He's a criminal, really, if you want to put it in bleak terms. He is now the environment minister. So Justin Trudeau said to Alberta, hey, I know you guys are really concerned about natural resources and the protecting your economy, but we're going to put a Greenpeace activist, frankly, very short, kind of angry man in charge of the environment. So you guys, Alberta, you guys are done. Calgary's going to turn into Detroit. It's game over. What are we going to do with natural resources now? Well, natural resources, those sound pretty important to the Canadian prairies and to the west. I know I'm going fast here, but bear with me. We're almost through the fun part. So we're going to put, I keep forgetting his name. Is it Jonathan? Jonathan Wilkinson. Jonathan Wilkinson, as you may remember, is the guy that would always go up there on the when Trudeau had an announcement about the environment. I believe he's an MP from British Columbia. If I got that wrong, I'm sure everyone will correct me. He is like a super green kind of guy. Like he got into politics to help save the environment or whatever. So that's your new minister resource, and Stephen Guilbeault is your new environment minister. So these guys, let's just say they're going to go to town on the natural resource industry. If I was Albertan, I would move. That's all I'm going to say. So what happened to Patty Hajdu? Do you remember Patty Hajdu? She was the one that would go up to you every day and like praise the Chinese communists for like no reason besides, I don't know, trying to get in their good books. She was also the one that she was the health minister. She would go around and say, oh, I'm not a doctor. In fact, she was like an interior designer or like graphic designer. And she would tell you about how important it was to like stay 6 feet apart or whatever. She was basically just awful at the job. Nobody could have foreseen this pandemic. I'm sure nobody knew this was coming. And of course, Patty Hajdu clearly didn't. I'm sure she thought she would be looking over like long-term care budgets and stuff, but no, it turns out she got thrown into a really important position during the middle of a pandemic. So she's out. Melanie Joly. Melanie Joly is someone I wanted to talk about because this is the one that I saw got the most reaction. And by the way, Patty Hajdu is now Indigenous Affairs Minister. I think I forgot that. Melanie Joly is now the Foreign Affairs Minister. If you don't know Melanie Joly, I would like to read you off something. It's from the Toronto Sun. Now, I think a lot of people out there may not be big fans of Warren Kinsella, but he did a really good takedown of Melanie Joly in this article that was published 3 days ago. We could put it up on the screen. Let's just go through some of Melanie Joly's accomplishments, right? So the Parliament Hill hockey rink is the biggest disaster in basically spending history in terms of hockey rinks. It's the most expensive hockey rink and in all of hockey rink history, I'm sure, besides the Videotron Center in Quebec City. But the Parliament Hill hockey rink. So for one, it's an ice rink. You couldn't play hockey on it. Why not? We live in Canada, right? How much more it's on the $5 bill? A bunch of little kids playing hockey. I don't know if that's still on there. It was close to the largest skating rink in the world in the form of the Rideau Canal. So no need for a hockey rink. It's like right next to the very well-known hockey ice rink. And it cost $215,000 a day to operate. So if you think that this person should be given the role of Foreign Affairs Minister, just go ahead in the comments and explain that one to me, because I really don't see why that's a good idea. You know what I mean? She was also responsible for forgetting to mention Jews on the Holocaust plaque for the Holocaust Memorial. I don't know how you could forget that. I believe the quote just mentions general victims of the Holocaust, but kind of intertwined, you know? So you can thank Melanie Joly for that one. You should go check out this article. It is hilarious. I'm not a big Warren Kinsella guy, but yeah, pretty funny. And she is also the 5th foreign affairs minister since 2015, since Justin Trudeau. Oh my God, it's been 6 years since Justin Trudeau got into power. Marc Garneau, Stéphane Dion, Chrystia Freeland, Francois Philippe Champlain, and now Melanie Joly. What a bunch of rock stars this cabinet is made out of. Criticism has been pretty sharp. I've noticed criticism basically from all angles. Unless you're like one of these super liberal guys that just pretends like everything's okay. Other than that, I've noticed a lot of anger, especially from anyone that's not liberal, basically. It's going to be a nightmare. There's like 40 cabinet positions. I mean, this cabinet's huge. Of course, it's gender balanced. So at the end of the day, could we really ask for more? 50% men, 50% women. If somebody out there could tell me what the disparity between right-handed and left-handed is, by the way, I think there should be 50% left-handed and 50% right-handed distribution between in the cabinet. I think that's the type of representation I want. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me on this very wordy episode of This Week in Canada. I just wanted to go on a little rant. I even did my notes on the back of this envelope. My name is Roberto Wakefield Cruz. Thank you for joining us, and make sure you go to the links below and check out our Rumble. Rumble is a video streaming service just like YouTube, but without all the scary tech censorship. You can go and check us out on Rumble. We get most of reviews there. Subscribe to us there, and subscribe to the Post Millennial Clips channel. This is where you get breaking clips that will show up on your homepage. It's very nice, very handy. Also, go ahead and check out Ivacy. Ivacy is a VPN built just for you, and for a limited time, you can get a sweet deal that you will find in the links below. Protect your privacy with Ivacy. It's won awards. And support the Post Millennial. Please support the Post Millennial by going to our membership page. It's only $5 a month. Starting at $5 a month. There's higher tiers if you'd like. Get an ad-free experience of our website. It supports myself, the show, and the website. Yeah. So thank you so much for joining me. My name is Roberto Wakefield Cruz. This has been a lot of fun. So we have some news regarding the show that we might reveal, but we'll give you an update on that later this week in regards if the show is going to continue. So thanks again for watching. I love you, and goodbye.